The stars shined quietly over the colony of New Terra, a peaceful human settlement on the edge of known space. Families lived simple lives there: farmers, teachers, engineers, and children who played in open fields. For many years, New Terra had no trouble. It was far from danger, far from war. The people trusted that peace would last, but they were wrong. One cold evening, without warning, the sky turned red. Giant alien ships from the powerful Zarnok Empire appeared above the colony. They did not speak, they did not send a warning. They simply attacked. Explosions shook the ground as deadly beams of energy rained down from the sky. Buildings were destroyed in seconds. Mothers screamed for their children, people ran, but there was nowhere to hide. The attack was fast, cruel, and complete. In less than 1 hour, New Terra was silent. More than 20,000 humans died that day. Men, women, and even small children. The lucky ones were those who died quickly. Thousands of kilometers away on Earth, the United Space Command received a strange signal. It was weak, broken, and full of static. General Reyes, a calm but strong man, entered the control room. The signal was the last message from New Terra. He watched the flickering screen as the words came through. "They betrayed us," the voice said, shaking and full of fear. "We tried to talk. They didn't listen. They came without warning. Run." Then the screen went black. Everyone in the room was silent. No one spoke. The only sound was the soft hum of the computers. General Reyes stared at the screen, his face hard and cold. This was not just an attack, it was something more, something strange. "Why would the Zarnok Empire do this?" someone asked. "We had no war, no fights, no warnings." Reyes didn't answer. He was thinking. This didn't make sense. For years, the humans had stayed away from the Zarnok Empire. There was no reason for a war. Earth never crossed their borders, never stole from them, never attacked. So why now? Why this? As engineers worked to clean the signal, they discovered something hidden deep in the transmission. A second voice. Very faint, almost impossible to hear. They played it slowly. "They're coming for Earth next." Gasps filled the room. One of the young officers dropped his tablet. A new fear gripped the command center. This was not just a single attack. This was the beginning of something bigger. Earth was next. Panic began to grow among the world leaders. Emergency meetings were held. The president demanded answers. Scientists, soldiers, and spies all began searching for clues. Still, no reason was found. The Empire had simply decided to destroy a human colony, and now they were coming for Earth. General Reyes stood in the war room, staring at a large star map. His hands were behind his back. He didn't speak much, but his mind was racing. This attack was not random. It was planned. New Terra was far, but not the farthest. Why did they choose that colony? Why now? A young officer entered the room and handed Reyes a tablet. "Sir," she said, "we've picked up new movement near the border. Empire ships. Dozens of them." Reyes nodded. "Send out the early warning signal, begin evacuation drills, and activate black-level defense protocol." The officer's eyes widened. "Sir, that's only used when they're coming for Earth," he said. "We don't wait for them to knock." Outside in the streets of major cities, life went on as usual. People went to school, work, and the market. They had not yet heard the news. But soon, everything would change. News networks started showing breaking alerts. People watched the footage of New Terra burning. Some cried, some became angry. All of them felt the fear. In one of the homes, a little boy asked his father, "Why would someone hurt us like that?" The father didn't know what to say. He hugged his son tightly. Back in space, human ships were already preparing. Satellites moved into new positions. Weapons were charged. Spaceports filled with young men and women signing up for military duty. They were scared, but they were ready. Humanity had known peace for a long time. But now, that peace was broken. The stars, once beautiful and quiet, now felt dangerous. In the darkness of deep space, the Empire's fleet continued moving forward, silent, cold, and unstoppable. The war had not yet begun, but the first spark had already been lit. Earth was preparing, and humanity would not go down without a fight. Alina worked in a hidden government office under the city of Geneva. She was not a soldier. She was not a pilot. She was something more dangerous, a spy. For years, she had watched secret messages, tracked hidden codes, and studied the movements of alien ships. She lived in shadows, spoke to no one outside her team, and never shared what she knew. But after the attack on New Terra, everything changed. Alina had a feeling that the Empire's strike was not random. She believed there was a secret behind it. Something big. Something the world leaders didn't know or didn't want to admit. While others focused on weapons and ships, she focused on information. One night, she sat alone in a dark room full of screens and blinking lights. Her fingers moved quickly across the keyboard. She broke into a deep Empire data stream that the satellites had picked up weeks before the New Terra attack. The files were locked, the language strange, but Alina was the best in her field. Slowly, she opened one file, then another, and then her heart froze. The documents were old, maybe 10 years. They were written in Zarnok code. But the meaning was clear. The Empire had been planning this war for a long time. They had spies watching Earth. They had detailed maps of every human colony. They even had information about human weapons, ships, and secret research labs. Alina leaned closer. One line stood out. It read, "The humans must be stopped before they discover what their planet holds." Her eyes widened. What did that mean? What was on Earth? She kept digging. In another folder, she found strange reports written by Zarnok scientists. These reports talked about a rare energy source, Element X, that could power an entire fleet with only a few grams. And this energy source was only found in one place in the galaxy. Earth. Alina sat back in her chair, her face pale. The Empire didn't attack because of hate. They attacked because they were afraid that humans would discover Element X and rise to power. This wasn't just war. This was fear. And it was carefully planned. Suddenly, the lights in the room flickered. The door behind her creaked open. Alina quickly turned off her screen. A man in a black uniform stepped in. He had no badge, no name, just cold eyes. "You're not allowed to be here," he said. "I had clearance," she replied calmly, trying not to show fear. The man smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "Clearance was changed 2 hours ago." He stepped forward. Alina reached for her pocket, but he was fast. He grabbed her wrist. She kicked back, hard, and broke free. She ran down the hallway, heart pounding, alarms blaring behind her. She knew now. Someone inside the human government was working with the Empire. A traitor. Alina escaped through a hidden tunnel under the building. She ran into the cold night, hiding among the dark city streets. She had copied the files onto a small chip, now hidden in her necklace. She had to get it to General Reyes. He needed to know the truth. Meanwhile, General Reyes stood in front of world leaders again. They were angry, scared, and confused. Each one asked the same question. Why did the Empire attack us? Reyes didn't answer yet. He had no proof, no facts, just guesses. But something deep inside him told him the truth was close. Far above Earth, satellites showed more Zarnok ships, gathering at the edge of the solar system. Not just fighters, not just bombers, but capital ships, carriers, war machines the size of cities. The Empire wasn't just coming for Earth. They were coming to take it. Back in the city, Alina entered a secure building where Reyes was supposed to be. She passed 2 guards, showed her ID, and climbed to the top floor. She pushed open the door and found Reyes alone, looking at a glowing map. "I know why they attacked us," she said. Reyes turned. His face didn't change. "Speak." She handed him the chip. They want what's under our feet. He plugged in the chip and began to read. His eyes moved slowly across the data. His jaw tightened. Then he looked up. They're not just attacking Earth, he said. They're trying to control the future. Alina nodded. And someone from our side is helping them. Silence fell over the room. Reyes took a deep breath. Then we must act quickly, before it's too late. Outside, the stars seemed peaceful, but war was already moving, closer. Hidden hands were shaping a dark future. But now, at least, Earth knew the truth. And truth was the first weapon in the fight for survival. The war room was darker than usual. General Reyes stared at the large screen showing the map of space. Red dots marked the Empire's ships. More appeared every hour. He turned to his officers. His voice was calm but strong. We don't have much time. The Empire is getting closer. Alina stood nearby. She hadn't slept since she brought the secret data. Her mind kept thinking about the traitor inside their system. Someone was feeding information to the enemy. Someone powerful. Maybe even someone in this very room. Reyes gave the signal. Begin Operation Shieldfall. All across Earth, the military went into full alert. Defense satellites were activated. Warships launched into orbit. Factories ran day and night building weapons and armor. People began leaving the cities, heading to safe zones underground. The government told them it was just a drill, but fear was in the air. People could feel the truth. War was coming. In the shadows, Alina moved silently. She needed to find the traitor. The files she stole hinted at secret messages sent from Earth's capital to the Empire. She followed the trail, lines of code, hidden files, strange login times. One name appeared again and again, Director Voss. He was a respected leader, always calm, always loyal. But the signs were clear. He had access to secret defense plans, and he had the means to hide messages in deep systems. Alina couldn't accuse him yet. She needed proof. Real proof. She placed a tracker on his transport and followed from a distance. That night, Voss visited a private communication hub, one that wasn't on the official maps. Alina got close, using her spy tools to record everything. Inside, Voss spoke into a device. The humans are preparing more quickly than expected. Send reinforcements. Attack must happen within the week, or Earth will be ready. Alina's heart pounded. She had the evidence. She turned to leave, but stepped on a loose pipe. It made a loud clang. Voss turned. "Who's there?" he shouted. Alina ran. Voss's guards chased her through the narrow tunnels. She ducked, twisted, and rolled under beams. Blaster shots echoed behind her. One burned her shoulder. She didn't stop. She burst out of the tunnel and sent an emergency signal to Reyes. In minutes, soldiers arrived. Voss tried to escape in his transport, but a wall of soldiers blocked him. He was captured. Back at headquarters, Reyes listened as Voss was questioned. The traitor didn't beg. He didn't cry. He simply smiled. "You think you can stop them?" Voss said. "You're weak. The Empire will crush you. Your little world will burn." Reyes didn't blink. "Maybe. But we'll make them bleed for every inch." With Voss locked away, Alina finally rested. But her relief didn't last long. A warning signal flashed across the base. A scout ship had just returned from deep space. The pilot was badly injured, but alive. He had seen something terrifying. "A massive Zarnok fleet," he whispered. "Hundreds of ships. They're hiding behind the moon of Uranus. They'll reach Earth in 3 days." Reyes stood still. 3 days. That was all they had. He gathered the best generals, pilots, and scientists. The meeting lasted only 1 hour, but the decision was clear. Earth would not wait. They would strike first, a surprise attack on the enemy fleet. The mission would be dangerous. Many would not return, but it was the only chance. They chose a name for the mission, Operation Dawnfire. In the training camps, young soldiers prepared for their first space battle. Some were scared. Others were angry. All were ready. One of them, A pilot named Marcus wrote a message to his little sister. "I don't know if I'll come back, but I'm going to fight so you can grow up free." Alina watched the ships being loaded with weapons and fuel. She walked beside Reyes. "Do you think we can win?" she asked. Reyes looked up at the sky. "I don't know," he said, "but I know we can fight. And sometimes, that's enough." As the sun rose over Earth, thousands of humans looked toward the sky, not with fear but with determination. The first battle of the war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to strike. The engines of the human fleet roared in silence as they moved through space, hidden in the shadow of Saturn's rings. Dozens of warships, painted black to blend with the darkness, flew in perfect formation. At the front of the fleet was the command ship Valiant, where General Reyes stood watching the stars. This was it. Operation Dawnfire was underway. The plan was simple but dangerous. They would hit the Empire's fleet while it rested behind the moon of Uranus. A surprise attack, a single mistake, and Earth would be left defenseless. Reyes had chosen only the best. Pilots who could fly through a storm, soldiers who never gave up, and engineers who could fix a ship with tape and hope. On board the Shadowhawk, young pilot Marcus checked his weapons. His hands were shaking, but his eyes stayed focused. This was his first real battle. Around him, others were quiet. Some whispered to old photos. Others just stared into space. Everyone knew what was coming. "Enemy fleet located," the ship's AI said. Reyes gave the order. "Begin attack run." Suddenly, the silence of space was broken. Human ships rushed forward like arrows. Bombers dropped from the upper layers and aimed straight for the heart of the Zarnok fleet. Fighters moved in fast, creating chaos. For a few seconds, it worked. Zarnok ships were caught off guard. Some exploded before their shields could activate. Alarms rang through their fleet, but they responded quickly. Too quickly. Alina, watching the battle from Earth's control center, frowned. "They were ready," she whispered. "They expected us." On the front lines, Marcus's ship was hit. Sparks flew around him. "Eject! Eject!" someone yelled in his ear. But Marcus didn't leave. He pulled his ship upward and fired straight into a Zarnok destroyer. The enemy ship cracked in two. Marcus barely escaped the blast. Back on the Valiant, Reyes watched as his fleet began to take damage. The Empire's fleet was huge, much larger than they had guessed. For every Zarnok ship destroyed, two more took its place. "This isn't a hiding force," Reyes said. "This is an invasion fleet." And then they saw it. A massive Zarnok mothership, larger than any other, began to rise from behind the moon. It was round, black, and glowing with red energy. It looked like a giant eye in the sky. Alina's voice came through the communication line. "General Reyes, that's not just a ship. That's their command base." Reyes understood. If they destroyed that ship, the rest of the fleet would lose coordination. It was the brain. Without it, the body would fall. He gave a new order. "All ships target the mothership." But it was too late. The mothership opened fire. A massive beam of energy shot from its center, hitting 3 human ships. They vanished in a flash of white light. No wreckage, no sound. Just gone. Fear spread through the human fleet, but Reyes shouted, "Keep going, if we stop now we lose Earth." Marcus, flying with smoke trailing behind him, saw the mothership. He gritted his teeth. "I'm going in." He turned his ship toward the giant vessel. Enemy fire lit up around him. One shot hit his wing, but he kept flying. He had one missile left. One chance. He flew low, under the mothership, avoiding fire. The missile locked on. He pressed the button. The missile flew straight into the ship's energy core. For a moment, everything went silent. Then the mothership shook violently. Fire burst from its side, its lights flickered. It began to fall. Cheers went up across the human fleet, but the joy didn't last. Reyes saw it first, more Zarnok ships warping in from deep space. Reinforcements. Dozens of them. The Empire had sent a second wave. Reyes made a hard choice. "All ships retreat. We've done enough. Fall back to Earth." The fleet turned and ran, carrying their wounded, their broken, and their brave. On the edge of Earth's orbit, Reyes gave a speech to all of humanity. We hit them first, we showed them we will not kneel. But this was only the beginning. They're coming, all of them. We must be ready. This war will decide everything. Back on Earth, Alina stared at the stars. She knew the next attack would be worse, but something deep inside her said one thing: humans would not go down easily, and the Empire had no idea what humanity was truly capable of. Earth was quiet, but the silence was full of tension. People hurried through the streets preparing for the next battle. Factories worked non-stop, building more ships, more weapons, more hope. Soldiers trained harder, pilots practiced longer, and scientists raced against time to unlock new technology. General Reyes stood in the command center, surrounded by glowing screens showing the stars. The damage from Operation Dawnfire was clear. They had hurt the Empire's fleet, but the enemy was stronger than anyone imagined. They had more ships, more weapons, and most of all, more patience. Alina worked beside him. She had just returned from a secret mission. Using the information from the captured traitor Voss, she had found the location of an Empire base hidden deep in an asteroid belt. If they could destroy it, they might slow the invasion. Reyes nodded. We need a small team for a quick strike, no mistakes. The team was chosen. Marcus, the young pilot from the first battle, Alina, the spy and codebreaker, and a few of Earth's best soldiers. They called it Operation Nightfall. The small strike team flew their fast ships through dangerous asteroid fields. Every moment was tense. One wrong move could send them crashing into a rock. The Empire had set traps, mines, and hidden turrets to stop anyone who came close. Marcus led the way. His hands were steady now. He had fought before and he had survived. But this was different. This mission was secret. If they failed, Earth would lose valuable time. Suddenly, a bright light flashed. A missile zoomed toward their lead ship. Marcus pushed his controls hard. The missile missed by inches and exploded on a nearby asteroid. Alina shouted, "They're waiting for us!" The team pushed forward, dodging fire, moving deeper into the belt. They reached the base, a huge, dark station, built into a giant asteroid. It looked like a monster hiding in space. Alina hacked the station's defenses while soldiers prepared to storm inside. The air was cold and thick with danger. Inside, the team fought through dark corridors filled with alien guards. The Empire soldiers were fierce, but the humans were determined. Marcus fired his blasters while Alina disabled security systems. They moved fast, knowing the enemy could call reinforcements at any moment. Finally, they reached the core room. Alina set the explosives. "Get out," she shouted. The team ran through the corridors as the explosives detonated behind them. The asteroid shook, cracks appeared, and alarms blared. Outside, the station exploded in a massive fireball, lighting up the dark sky. Back on Earth, the command center watched in awe. The strike was a success, but the cost was high. Several soldiers did not return. Reyes looked at the stars. "We have slowed them down, but the Empire will come back stronger." Alina nodded. "They fear us, but they still don't understand. Humans." Suddenly, a new message came through the communication lines. It was from an unknown source, a hidden alien ship from a neutral system. The message was simple. "We want peace. We will help you." The room went silent. Reyes stared at the screen. Could this be a new hope? Or another trap? The war was far from over. But Earth had gained new allies and new strength. And somewhere deep in the universe, the Empire was watching, waiting for the next move. The new alliance brought hope to Earth's leaders, but also many questions. Who were these aliens offering help? Could they be trusted? General Reyes stood in the command center, staring at the glowing message from the mysterious alien ship. Alina was with him, her eyes sharp and full of suspicion. They say they want peace, she said, but the Empire has spies everywhere. We can't take risks. Reyes nodded slowly. We need proof. If they are truly against the Empire, they will show it. So the leaders decided to send a small team to meet the aliens in person. They chose a fast, stealthy ship to travel to, the neutral system where the aliens waited. Marcus volunteered to pilot the mission. He was ready to prove himself again. As the ship left Earth's atmosphere, the whole world watched. If this mission failed, Earth could lose its only chance for new allies. After days of travel, the ship reached the neutral system, a strange place filled with glowing stars and colorful nebulae. The alien ship was there, waiting like a ghost, in the dark. The humans docked carefully. They were greeted by strange beings, tall, thin, with eyes that seemed to see everything. They called themselves the Serani. The Serani spoke softly but clearly. We have watched your fight. The Empire grows too strong, it threatens all life. We offer you our technology and knowledge. Alina listened closely as the Serani showed them advanced weapons, shields, and star maps of the Empire's secret bases. The humans were amazed. This could change the war. But then a warning came from the Serani leader. The Empire has a weapon, a terrible weapon. If they use it, it will destroy entire planets. Reyes felt a chill. The Empire's power was greater than anyone had thought. Suddenly, alarms rang in the alien ship. The Serani looked alarmed. Enemy ships! The Empire has found us! Outside, the black ships of the Empire appeared, closing fast. The humans and Serani prepared for battle. It was a fight to survive. Marcus jumped into the pilot's seat. We can't let them capture us. The battle was fierce. Lasers cut through space and explosions lit the stars. The human Serani team fought side by side, pushing back the Empire's attack. But the enemy was too strong. The human ship was hit. Marcus struggled to keep control. Hold on, Alina shouted, working the controls to repair the damage. Just when all seemed lost, more Serani ships appeared. They joined the fight, forcing the Empire to retreat. The humans breathed a sigh of relief, but they knew this was only the beginning. Back on Earth, the news spread quickly. Humans had made new friends, but the Empire was closer than ever. General Reyes looked up at the night sky and thought, the war will take everything from us, but humanity will never give up. Not now. Not ever. The countdown to total war had begun. The war had reached a new level. With the help of the Serani, Earth was stronger, but the Empire was angry. It sent more fleets to attack. Every day the sky over Earth was filled with ships. Every night, cities prepared for the worst. General Reyes stood on the command bridge of the flagship Valiant, watching the stars. His face was tired, but determined. Alina stood beside him, her eyes sharp like a hawk. We have to strike first, Reyes said. The Empire is gathering near Mars. If we wait, it will be too late. The leaders agreed. They planned a massive attack on the Empire's fleet before it could launch a full invasion. This battle would decide the future of Earth, and maybe all life in the galaxy. Marcus prepared his fighter. This time, it wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a fight for hope. The human and Serani fleets flew together toward Mars. The Itara battle began with a deafening roar of weapons fire. Explosions lit up space like stars dying. The Empire fought harder than ever. Their ships moved with deadly speed. Many human ships were damaged or destroyed. But the humans fought back with courage and strength no one expected. In the heart of the battle, Marcus saw the Empire's new weapon, a giant energy cannon mounted on their flagship. It was charging, ready to fire. Reyes, they're aiming at Earth. Alina shouted over the radio. Reyes gritted his teeth. We can't let that happen. Marcus knew what to do. He flew toward the cannon, dodging beams and missiles. His ship was hit many times, but he didn't stop. He fired his last missile straight at the cannon's core. The missile exploded. The cannon shattered in a huge fireball. The Empire flagship shook. Its fleet began to retreat. The humans cheered. But the cost was high. Many brave soldiers and pilots had fallen. Cities on Earth were damaged. Lives were lost. Back on Earth, the People celebrated the victory, but they knew the war was not over. It was only the first chapter of a long fight. General Reyes addressed the world. We have shown the Empire that humanity will never bow. We will protect our home no matter the cost. Together we are strong. Together we are unstoppable. Alina looked at the stars one last time that night. She knew the future was uncertain. The Empire would return. But humans had something the Empire never understood: their spirit. And that spirit would burn brighter than any star. The war was far from over, but humanity was ready. After the fierce battle near Mars, Earth was not safe yet. The Empire was angry and planning something even worse. In secret, deep in a hidden base far from Earth, the Empire's leaders gathered. Their faces were cold and hard. We have lost many ships, the Empire commander growled. But humans are weak. We will finish this. He revealed their secret weapon, a massive fleet of stealth ships that could move without being seen. These ships would sneak past Earth's defenses and destroy their main space stations. On Earth, General Reyes and his team learned about this new threat from intercepted messages. The tension in the command center was thick like fog. We must stop them before they reach us, Reyes said. If those stealth ships hit our stations, we lose everything. Alina worked day and night, trying to find a way to detect the invisible fleet. She studied new radar signals, tested theories, and talked to the Serrani scientists for help. Meanwhile, Marcus trained younger pilots, preparing them for the dangerous fight ahead. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also hope. The humans were learning, growing stronger. One night, alarms suddenly blared across Earth's defenses. The stealth fleet had arrived. It was a surprise attack. The invisible ships moved silently, attacking quickly. Space stations exploded in fire and smoke. Earth's defenses scrambled to respond. Reyes ordered all ships to defend the remaining stations. The battle was desperate and fast. Alina shouted, "I found a pattern in their stealth technology. If we use these pulses, we can detect them." The fleet adjusted their sensors and fired special pulses into space. Slowly, the invisible ships appeared like ghosts under their radar. The humans aimed their weapons and fired. Explosions tore through the stealth fleet. Marcus led a squadron to chase the enemy ships. The fight was fierce, but humans pushed back, defending their home. After hours of battle, the stealth fleet was destroyed. But the cost was heavy. Earth had lost many stations and brave souls. Reyes looked at the damage reports. The Empire will keep coming. We must prepare for the final battle. Alina nodded. But now they know we can fight even their darkest tricks. Earth's people stood united. They had faced death, darkness, and fear, but they never gave up. The war was far from over, but humanity was ready for whatever came next. The final battle was near. Earth's leaders knew the Empire would not stop until they were destroyed. The human fleet gathered near the moon, ready for the fight of their lives. General Reyes stood tall on the command bridge of the Valiant, looking at the huge fleet of ships behind him. His voice was steady but firm. "This is our last chance. We fight not just for Earth, but for all freedom in the galaxy." Alina checked the weapon systems and scanned for enemy ships. The Empire's main fleet is approaching fast. They bring their strongest weapons. Marcus tightened his grip on the controls of his fighter. His heart raced, but his mind was clear. He remembered all the battles, all the losses, and the hope that kept them fighting. Suddenly, the sky filled with the Empire's ships. Thousands of them, dark and threatening, moving like a storm. The battle began. Explosions lit the darkness of space. Lasers and missiles flew everywhere. The human fleet fought with all their strength, using every trick and weapon they had learned. The Empire unleashed their secret weapon, the Planet Crusher, a massive ship capable of destroying whole planets with one blast. It targeted Earth. Reyes shouted, "We cannot let that happen. Focus all fire on the Planet Crusher." Marcus and his squadron raced toward the huge ship. The battle was fierce. Fighters and turrets fired non-stop. Alina hacked into the Empire's ear systems, trying to find a way to stop the Planet Crusher from inside. She faced danger but never gave up. Finally, with teamwork and courage, the humans destroyed the Planet Crusher's core. The massive ship exploded in a giant fireball. The Empire fleet began to retreat, beaten and broken. Earth cheered as the surviving ships returned home. The cost was high, many lives lost, many homes destroyed, but humanity had won. General Reyes looked at the stars with hope. The Empire crossed the line. They thought they could break us, but they were wrong. Alina smiled. We fought together. Humans, Serrani, and all who want peace. Marcus landed his fighter. He looked at the sky, thinking of the battles ahead, but also of a future where Earth was free. The war was over for now. But humanity had shown the galaxy one truth. No matter the enemy, no matter the odds, humans never give up. They never surrender, because the spirit of humanity is unstoppable.